Well, welcome into Instant Reaction in Indianapolis Colts podcast. I'm Casey Vallier, joined, as always, by Colts Ring of Honor wide receiver Bill Brooks. Bill, first of all, it's really good to see you and do one of these again. I think the last one that we did Instant Reaction-wise was a little more somber.
Yes.
It was after the season finale where the Colts were outside of the playoffs looking in. So, as always, I really enjoy being with you, Billy.
Always great to be back with you. The last time, like I said, somber mood and after the game, but it was the end of the season, and Colts gave a valiant effort, but just didn't work out.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, well, right now at this point, there are 30 teams total that are feeling the same way.
Yes,
you
that is
all
correct.
want to get to this big game coming up this weekend, and there's only 2 teams left. So the Colts are not, they're not the only one.
Not the only one, no, but still, you don't
absolutely
worry about the other teams.
It is, but we aren't talking football on the. Well, I guess we are talking on the field.
Yes, we are.
We're not talking about games. We're talking about the big honor we just found out. Adam Vinatieri has been inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He becomes now just the 3rd standalone kicker in the Hall of Fame, joined by Jan Stanerud, Morton Anderson. Vinatieri is the NFL's all-time leader in points scored. He's played in 365 games, which is second most only to Morton Anderson. And, he's won 4 Super Bowls. We could continue to go on.
Yes,
because
he has the numbers.
This guy's accolades, we'll get into him a little bit later. But I just wanted to start off by saying congratulations for an all-time great getting the ultimate recognition and being inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yeah, definitely. Congratulations to Adam, and, he deserves it.
Yeah.
What he's put in, the time that he's put in the league, and the 10 years here at the Indianapolis Colts, the 14 years here at the Indianapolis Colts, the 10 years in New England, a long career and a successful career, played very well, 4 Super Bowls, and now to be inducted to the Hall of Fame, that is very special for a man that put in the work, and he deserves it.
Absolutely, he deserves it, and I swear I'm not complaining, because getting into the Hall of Fame is always good.
That's sweet.
But you know what, Bill? It's a year too late. If you want to talk to me about it, I'm being honest about it. Come on. If Adam Vinatieri, this is his 2nd year on the eligibility on the ballot, and he gets into the Hall of Fame. But if a guy like Adam Vinatieri is not a first ballot Hall of Fame, what Hall of Fame are we talking about? Like, I swear, this is great. I'm glad he got in. He deserves to get in, but I'm adamant about this. I think he's just 1 year too late.
Well, I'm happy that he's in. I'm definitely happy that he's in. And you know what? I think with his statistics and how long he's played and the big kicks that he made, he deserved to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Agreed.
No doubt about it.
Yep.
But I think the way people look at kickers, I think it makes it very difficult for kickers to get in on the first ballot. He had the stats. He had all the stats. I know we'll talk about the stats later on, but he had all the stats to get in. And for me personally, it's not just the stats, the total stats, it's he made the big kicks in the big games. And to me, that is what makes him so special. And to me, that's what makes him stand out amongst the others.
No, absolutely. And I'm not, I'm kind of tongue-in-cheek here.
Yeah, I know you are. I know you are.
It's an incredible honor, and he is very deserving. And 2nd year in, I think that also is still an impressive feat for him being a kicker.
Yes,
so I think
I
that
agree.
shows the dominance of what he was at that position. I think there is, maybe very little question on who the greatest kicker of all time is. It doesn't take you very long to get to Adam Vinatieri.
No.
You may have 1 or 2 other guys, and they may be the guys that are in the Hall of Fame, and Morton Anderson and Stanerud saying that they're the guys. But outside of that, I think that it is very well deserved. And yes, I wish you would have been a first ballot Hall of Famer, but second time, it's not too shabby. You talked about it, Bill. We were going to get into the numbers, and I've written it down here. I don't want to, sell him short. So I apologize to the camera real quick as I kind of read off this little piece of paper, because from a legacy standpoint, as I mentioned, I think he's the greatest all time. He's the NFL all-time leader in points scored, as I mentioned. He is the Indianapolis Colts all-time leader in points scored. He's 2nd on the Patriots all-time leader. His 397 total career games plus, regular season and postseason are the most in NFL history. He has made the most field goals in NFL history at 599. It would have been really nice if he got
600,
one more, right? 600 would have been a lot easier. He's known for his clutch kicks, as you mentioned.
Yep.
11 career overtime field goals are the most in NFL history. The records, the accolades, they continue to go on. But, I mean, it just continues to reiterate the point of congratulations to Adam Vinatieri for getting into the Hall because, as I mentioned, he is just an all-time great.
He is just an all-time great. And, you want to talk about the numbers. You go back and you mention those numbers from Adam Vinatieri, the most career points scored, 2,673, and the field goals of 599 and the games played and all those things. But as I said earlier, to me, it's the kicks he made in clutch moments.
Yeah.
You go back to the divisional game where the Patriots played the Raiders, the Tuck game, where he made a 45-yard field goal in the snow.
In the snow.
With bad footing.
Yeah.
To tie the game up and then go over overtime, hit a field goal to win the game. You go to the two Super Bowls, Super Bowl 36 and Super Bowl 38. He makes field goals in those games to win the game for the team in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
The biggest game in the National Football League. He made some big kicks for the Colts as well.
Yep.
He made 5 field goals against the Ravens in the divisional game, which that's only points to score. That's all the points the Colts have scored in that game, 15, and the Colts win that divisional game to go on to the next round. So give Adam credit. And for the players, the coaches that he played for, they could count on Adam. They knew that he could come through. And for me as a player, that's what you want. You want to be dependable for your teammates. You want to be there for your team. And when you're called upon, you want to do the job. And Adam did that.
Absolutely. And all of that, I'm going to give you a little bit of a preview. At the end of us talking about Adam Vinatieri, we might talk about somebody else who you talk about postseason dominance.
Yes.
I want to talk about him really quick.
Mm-hmm.
But one last kind of big picture thing on Adam Vinatieri is how he got to where he is.
Mm-hmm.
So he's an undrafted kicker, goes to play in Amsterdam, part of what was then known as the World League of American Football. And, he kicks there 1 year and then gets a tryout to come compete with a veteran who had been with the Patriots and with Bill Parcells for years.
Matt Barr.
This guy who, he's a long shot to even get a glimpse of making a roster in Adam Vinatieri. He not only gets the job, kicks for them for 10 years, then he comes to the Colts, kicks for 14 years, and ultimately all of that ends up being an undrafted rookie kicker out of South Dakota State is now wearing a gold jacket. That's pretty darn impressive.
That is impressive. And that just shows, like I talked about earlier, the work that he put in.
Yes.
He had to put in the work, went overseas and played over there, then comes back to the United States and signs with the Patriots as an undrafted free agent and going to play with Bill Parcells, one of the tougher coaches in the National Football League. And then your rookie year, you are competing against a veteran, I think at that time was 17th year in the National Football League. As you mentioned, he had kicked for Bill Parcells before, and Bill Parcells made the decision to go with Adam Vinatieri because he had the stronger kickoff leg than Matt Barr. So very impressive for Adam to work through that, and then, as they say, the rest is history.
Yes.
I mean, after that, he's just made big field goals after big field goals and played on some good teams, and he came through when his number was called. And you know what, Adam Vinatieri, that number 4, that's, for a lot of teams, for a couple of teams, that number could be retired, as far as for the Colts or for the Patriots. But you know what, I'm happy the man's going to put on that gold jacket.
Absolutely. Now, one final thing on Adam Vinatieri, and this is one of those interesting things because we mentioned, kind of 2 careers. You have your career with New England. You play there for 10 seasons. You play in 4 Super Bowls. You win 3 of them. And then you sign with the Colts before the 2006 season. You spend 14 years there, winning his 4th career Super Bowl. So you look at it, he is the all-time points leader in Colts franchise history. He's 2nd for the Patriots. And when you get enshrined into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, it's individual.
Yep.
It's not as, part of a certain team. So how do you remember Adam Vinatieri? If you're looking at that bust in Canton in 15 years, are you remember Adam Vinatieri as a Patriot or as a Colt? Because you can make the case for both of them. And what are the most notable things? And a lot of people go to Super Bowls, so I understand the New England part of it because he won 3 Super Bowls. And I guess this is a roundabout way of, before you answer, is saying, like, for Colts fans who, they call them the evil empire. Yeah. They hate those. They can share this. Both Patriots and Colts fans can share this together, that they have this guy who is so beloved in both communities enshrined to the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Yes. You know what? For me, I'm biased. Of course, I would say Colts.
Yeah.
For me, I remember him as a Colts, as I mentioned that the game against the Ravens, the field goals, and the other clutch. He made some other clutch field goals with the Colts. Plenty of field goals, and someone that you can depend on, and was kind of one of those pieces where the Colts had confidence in him, knowing that, hey, if we drive the ball down the field, we get in his range, it's automatic for the most part. So I understand that, and being from a Colts standpoint. And from people probably outside, I know more people, like you mentioned, think about the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of think about as well. I think about the Super Bowl. And for him to make those clutch kicks in the Super Bowl, those are with the Patriots.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people will probably look at him as a Patriot than as far as a Colt, because those kicks in the Super Bowl were clutch. They were clutch, big time.
Ultimately, where we are, we're talking about Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, and some of their legacy was on the foot of Adam Vinatieri.
Exactly.
So that is a very valid point.
You're talking about 2 Super Bowls.
Yes, I mean
2 Super Bowls.
2 of them.
Yeah.
And that is something that is kind of fascinating when you think about it, from the rivalry, if you want to call it that, the history between the 2 teams. To be able to share this is something different. I'm sure there's, it's like, if the Packers and Bears had something to share, I'm sure there's nothing. They got nothing to share, except the fact that they play typically in cold weather. That's about it.
They played in cold weather. But I'm just like, he has the gold jacket.
Yes, he does.
Okay, it's not the red, white, and blue. It's not blue and white. He has the gold jacket. That's all that matters. Because you know what? He contributed to both teams winning Super Bowls.
Yep.
And both teams being successful during his time with those teams.
All right. Now, this is a little change of pace topic I want to get into now, Bill, because we talk about the outcome of Adam Vinatieri being in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, but one of the other outcomes that comes is now Reggie Wayne is on the outside looking in for his 7th straight season. We are very biased here in Indianapolis.
Yep.
We watched what Reggie Wayne did. If you ask me, he is a no-brainer Hall of Famer. I don't know how it has taken 7 years for him to continue to be denied, but yet again, they go in a different direction.
I don't understand it. As you said, no, I've seen Reggie. I was here when Reggie first got here, and seen Reggie play and develop, and the work that he put in day in and day out. And me watching Reggie and seeing other receivers in the National Football League, Reggie has some of the best hands.
Oh, yeah.
In the National Football League. When I say hands, I mean catching the ball with his hands in the National Football League. And the things that he did on the football field for the Colts were, the Colts couldn't be as successful as they were without a Reggie Wayne on the field. And, the numbers speak for themselves.
Right.
He had over 1,000 receptions in his career, 1,070, which puts him 11th all-time in NFL history, 10th all-time in receiving yards, over 14,000 yards. And, just the numbers that he had, that alone should, in my opinion, put him in the Hall of Fame. And you look at his postseason numbers.
Exactly.
I mean, 93 receptions in the postseason. That's 6th in the National Football League. 1,250 yards. That's 7th in the National Football League, and 9 touchdowns, which is 10th in the National Football League. Those are just postseason numbers in the playoffs, what he's done. And for someone to have those numbers, and you're telling me that he's not a Hall of Famer, it's hard to believe. Hard to believe that he is not in the Hall of Fame with the numbers that he has.
And in some ways, I mean, highlighting what you just said, it's kind of what we talked about with Adam Vinatieri. When you think about his career, a lot of times you go back to the kicks in overtime and the postseason kicks, the Super Bowl kicks. It's the same way with Reggie Wayne. I mean, you talked about it. he is 11th all-time in receptions, 10th all-time in receiving yards, but then his postseason numbers, 6th all-time with receptions, 7th in receiving yards, and he's tied for 10th in all-time receiving touchdowns. I don't understand how those numbers don't get you in, but also, and I hear it, I understand from everybody out that there is that fatigue about the team. You've got Peyton Manning throwing to you. You've got Marvin Harrison. You've got Edgerrin James. You've got Dwight Freeney. You've got Tony Dungy. You've got Bill Polian. All 6 of those are Hall of Famers. It is not fair to grade him because he played with all-time greats. Because at the end of the day, if you look at his numbers, not only did he play with all-time greats, he became an all-time great. Make it make sense.
He produced.
Where I am.
He produced.
He produced.
When the time came, he produced. And that's what you want.
And ultimately, you can make the argument of it's impressive he got those numbers.
Exactly.
Playing with all of those guys.
There's only one football.
There's only one ball to go around.
And when you're throwing the ball to different people, or Marvin, you have getting the ball to Edgerrin as well. There's also Dallas Clark. You're getting the ball. And when he had the opportunity to make plays, he made the plays.
Yes.
The numbers speak for it there. They show it. And that, to me, says a lot about Reggie, that, when he had the opportunity to make plays, he made the plays.
Yep.
He took advantage of his opportunities, very consistent out there in the football field, and he did his job. Don't blame Reggie because Bill Polian drafted some top guys.
Yep.
Tony Dungy coached these guys to perform at a high level, and these guys went out there and performed at a high level. So don't blame Reggie for that. Give Reggie his flowers that he deserves because he went out there and produced. That's my biggest argument for why I think Reggie should be in there, because he produced when it came time to produce.
And I always think back to that 2012 season. Marvin Harrison's not here. Edgerrin James is not here. Peyton Manning is not here. And who was it? It was Reggie Wayne helping this team kind of take its next step. This is, Andrew Luck is in the fold. They're moving on from Manning. And who was the leader? Who was the guy that was guiding that ship? It was number 87. It was Reggie Wayne. So, and you watch that year, he was the guy that he had been the previous decade. And those are the kinds of things that always rub me the wrong way, because, I'm from Indianapolis. Mm-hmm. This is the team that, I get. I mean, it's an incredible honor to be able to work for a team that I grew up idolizing. I watched every game. There's so many things that was what my whole football season was geared around, was what time did the Colts play. And that was, you look at the age I am, I'm 36 years old. Those were the guys I watched.
Yes.
And for you to tell me, especially, let's say you talk to 12-year-old me, Reggie Wayne is absolutely a Hall of Famer.
He was it.
He was it.
He was it.
It's crushing. I'm sure part of this is, I'm going a little off the fold here. This is my personal bias because, one, I get to, see him coach the wide receivers here, and we talk to him and we get to know these guys. And he's a Hall of Fame human, and he's a Hall of Fame player. And those things should be a perfect marriage, ending with him having his bust inside Canton, wearing the gold jacket where he belongs. And here we are for the 7th straight year not seeing it happen, and I think that's part of it. I'm just really struggling with that.
It's hard to see when good people put in the work and do the job and sacrifice, and in this case, not get rewarded by becoming a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
And he deserves it. He worked for it, and he deserves to get in. And I just say, like we said earlier, don't blame him for what the talent that was around him. He went out there and he produced. Right. And that's, to me, that is the answer. He produced. So what more does he? Yeah. What more can he do?
My final little thing on this, Bill, and I'm not really sure how you're going to answer it, so this may just fall flat and we may just have to close it. But it's always going to be special.
Yes.
If he gets in year 12, it will be, well, I guess you get 10 years on the ballot. So if he gets in year 8, 9, 10, it will be special. But do you think at all there's this, I've been on the doorstep now for 7 years. Why now? Because I've been a firm believer, and now with the new voting, it's going to be even more restrictive for guys to get into the Hall of Fame. That's just the nature of the beast. That's what they have done. So it's going to continue to be a long road for him to overtake some of these guys that you got on the pipeline coming up, because that's what you're competing against. You used to kind of compete against your position, and now it's a numbers game. You're competing against everybody. So, like I said, I know that it'll always be special. But if you're a Hall of Famer now, you're a Hall of Famer tomorrow. So I don't know if there's ever going to be a moment where he's just like, well, why now? Why does it work now, but it didn't work 5 years ago?
I'm sure he was going to run that through his mind and think about that. And I know it's probably hard for Reggie because, like I said, he deserves it to get in there. And he put up the numbers, he put the work in. But I think once he gets in, he's in. Yeah, he might say, finally, I got in. Might say something to that nature. But I think once you're in, you're in. You're in that fraternity of players that you are one of the best at the top, and you produced during that time. So I think he'll say he's in now. I'm not going to say he might think a few things that he might want to say to people. But knowing Reggie, I think he will think a few things. But I think Reggie will, he'll take it and wear that gold jacket happily.
Absolutely. Well, we're highlighting this guy right here in Adam Vinatieri. But I'm telling you, I'm sure you don't care what I have to say, Reg, if you're even watching this. But you're a Hall of Famer in my book. You should have been in 7 years ago, buddy.
Reggie knows how I feel. He knows that I think he should have been in a long time ago. He is definitely a Hall of Famer, not just on the football field, but for me as a person. Just knowing Reggie, he's a Hall of Famer as a person.
And that part for me is one thing that I have appreciated so much because, like I said, being that kid who watched him play, and then you get to know the human, and it's like, you just in awe. You're shocked that this guy has yet to be in that fold to get in. But we're going to go back to a little positive thinking and tip our cap one more time to Adam Vinatieri.
Yes.
Getting into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It'll be a lot of fun when that time rolls around. It's late July, early August is when the enshrinement happens, right around that time. So we'll have everything leading up to that. But, yes, congratulations to Adam Vinatieri. For Bill Brooks, I'm Casey Vallier. Thanks a lot for joining us here on Instant Reaction in Indianapolis Colts podcast. We'll talk to you soon.